So it's nighttime of our morning, noon and night sequence. So what might you do in the evenings that would help you calm down or help you limber up before you go to bed? So nothing too extreme, everything is calm, everything is restful. I'm going to begin with breath work that we do in yoga that helps you to sleep, that calms your mind, that will help you to just get your breath normalized before you go to sleep. And it's also very soothing. I find it very soothing myself. Now, it may irritate the other people around you because it's kind of noisy, but nonetheless, this is what it is. So your thumbs then, you take your thumbs and you place them in your ears, and you don't jam them into your ears, needless to say, but you just close off the little flaps outside your ears, and you place your fingers around the sides of your head. And when you breathe in, and then you hold your breath and you hum. It's literally, so I'll just show you what we do. So thumbs closing off my ears, fingers around my crown of my head so I can feel the vibrations through my head. I take an inhale and then I hum. And that's the sound it makes, and it makes bigger sound in your head, and that's the soothing part of it. And it is amazing what that does for you. So you can do it as long as you can hold your breath, or not hold your, you are holding your breath actually when you do it. You hold your breath and you hum. So I'll just show you again. So thumbs into your ears, not too excessive now, don't jam your thumbs in there. You can feel the vibrations then through your fingers on your head. You take a deep breath. And with practice, then you can do that for up to a minute. You probably should be able to do it for 2 or 3 minutes. And then you take another breath and you keep going until you feel more soothed, more rested. And it just is really soothing thing to do. So we call it Brahmari, or what is it called? I can't remember. There's another name for it as well. But in Sanskrit, it's Brahmari, and it's really soothing breath work. And it's the only kind of breath work we really do at night time. We wouldn't do what we were doing in the morning sequence, the Kapalabhati breathing, which is really energizing and increasing the blood flow and getting you kind of, sort of energized for your day. This is really soothing, calming at the end of your day. And for the rest of this sequence, I would normally play music. I love soothing classical music at night time. Not up loud and noisy, but nice and calm and soothing. So I usually have that in the background. And there are a couple of things I do on a regular basis at night time. Even if I've come in, having been out with friends or something like that, I try to keep the routine up regardless of what I'm doing in the rest of my life. And I think that's the benefit of this morning, noon and night sequence. It's not going to interfere with your work or social life, and it's going to enhance your well-being. Well, at least that's my experience of doing this. The next thing I would do is I would do stuff for my spine and my hips. So I would lie down onto my mat, and as I lie down, I would just curl my way down. So little energizing work through the core. And then I'm not going to hit my head off the wall, so I'm going to lie down on my mat. I'm just going to bend my knees, my feet are hip width apart, and I'm just going to roll my pelvis. So I'm just going to rock my pelvis. I'm going to curl my tailbone, press my lower back into the mat, and then I'm going to uncurl it and create a curve in my spine. I'm going to press my lower back onto the mat, and then I'm going to release it. I'm going to press my lower back onto the mat, and then I'm going to release it. Now, with my hands on my tummy, my elbows on the mat, I'm just going to rock my knees side to side. So if you've been sitting for a long time in the evening, it's really good to loosen up this part of your body. It means that your hips will feel better as you sleep, that your spine will feel better as you sleep. So it's just a simple little move, knees backwards and forwards. And then from there, this is the way I would do it to come back up. I would hold on behind my thighs, and I would rock myself forward. And then I would just stretch my back. And I'm not going to stretch my back forward. I'm going to curl my chin, tuck my chin to my chest, and I'm just going to round through my spine. Keep my chin tucked in, and I'm just feeling that length in my spine. And to increase the length in my spine, I'm going to pull my tummy in. And I could hold this for a minute maybe, just lengthening out my spine before I sleep. And then I'm just going to roll my spine all the way back up. And you could do as many of those as you feel like. It doesn't, there's no restriction on time or how much time you spend doing any of these things. And I have 2 more things to do, and I think these are invaluable, particularly if you're somebody who doesn't find it that easy to fall asleep. Thank God I don't have any problems like that. I hit the pillow and I'm gone. Glasses on, book falling over my face. So I have a bolster here, and you can have a towel wrapped up, or I have a big cushion here as well. You could use a cushion. When I lie down, I'm going to lift my hips up and I place either the cushion or a bolster under my hips, and I just take my legs up. So I move up a little bit so as you can see the tops of my feet. So if my feet flex back towards me, I just move up another little bit and have my feet flex back towards me. And I just hold that position. I have my elbows on the mat, my hands on my tummy, and I'm just going to hold that position. I can hold it for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and I'm draining my lymphatic system. I'm calming down and slowing down my heart rate. I'm slowing down or lowering my blood pressure. So anybody with high blood pressure like I have, this is a fantastic move. So anything that involves the legs above the level of the heart, really, really good for you. If I'm wearing my Apple Watch, I can see my heart rate drop really rapidly when I do this. And if you're suffering from low blood pressure, you can still do this. But people with high blood pressure, this is really, really interesting move. I usually keep my toes flexed back towards me so that I'm getting a little bit of stretch on my hamstrings, my calf muscles and my Achilles tendons as well. I have an alternative way of doing this, and for that way, I'm going to sit up and I'm going to show you how you might do it that's much more restful. That's a slightly more energized way of doing it. But if I want to do it differently, I can put my legs up against the wall. So the best way of getting into this is to bring your hips up against the wall. So I'll show you from the other side as well. So you bring your hips up against the wall like that, and then I'm going to swivel around and I'm going to take my legs up the wall. And then I'm going to try and bring my body so my base of my glutes are right up against, in my case, up against the skirting board here. And I'm going to take my legs up. This is much more restful than doing it with freestyle, as it were, on your mat. Feet flex back towards you, hands on your tummy, eyes closed. This is a really, really good thing to do at night time. If you're someone who sits a lot, or indeed who spends a lot of time on their feet, during the day you're draining your lymphatic system. As I said already, you're lowering your heart rate, lowering your blood pressure. I find this extraordinarily restful and therapeutic. And particularly, say if I'm suffering from jet lag and I've, come back from travel or something like that, and I feel like, just sleep, it's just evading me, then I do something like this and I just rest there. I do this to start. I have a little sequence with this as well. So I usually start off with my feet up the wall, and then I just take my feet out wide. Because we don't do enough of this lateral movement in our day-to-day, I like to stretch the inner thighs at night time. And I just drop my feet out there. I don't do anything too excessive. They're just hanging out there. And I might hold that for 30 seconds or a minute. And then I would take my hands to the outside of my thighs, and I always use my hands to bring my legs back together, because you don't want to strain your groin and you don't want to strain your adductor muscles. So you take your hands to the outside of your thighs and you bring your legs back in together. And then I would always finish up in this particular position, eyes closed, maybe music on. Sometimes I just read a book sitting here, or just generally chill out and let my day sort of drift away from behind me, and just totally rest. Eyes are closed. And it's really important that you learn to be able to relax in this position. So learning to relax is really interesting, I think, about relaxation. Lots of people find it really hard to relax, hard to let go when they're awake, because we're switched on so much during our day. But if you can let go here, and the way I would advise you to let go is to soften your facial muscles first. So your eyes are gently closed, your face is soft, everything about your facial muscles is soft. And there's several ways that you can encourage that. For instance, you can run your tongue around the front of your upper teeth, and then maybe run it on the insides, and then relax your tongue in your mouth, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. There's something really interesting about the way to relax your shoulders here. Because most of us are a little rounded in our shoulders, I think it's important that you get that little expanse across your chest. So push the heads of your shoulders into the mat and then let them relax. And let that sense of relaxation flow right through your body. So everything about this pose is about letting everything go, allowing the lymphatic system to drain, allowing your heart rate to slow down, allowing your blood pressure to lower, allowing your breath to be soft, allowing every muscle in your body to be fluid and relaxed, and just to let go. I feel like going to sleep myself now. So, and it's the middle of the day. So to come out of this elegantly, well, you could, of course, back flip, which you're not going to do here, and especially not advisable at night time. But you can just come over onto your knees and then take yourself up. And so crawling into the center. And then when you crawl into bed at night time, it's amazing how good that makes you feel. I feel rested now, and I was only doing it for less than a minute. It's amazing what something as simple as that can do for you in terms of relaxation. So I'm going to summarize our 3 little videos now. So morning, noon and night. And these are just little movements that you can build into your day that are not going to take a huge amount of time, that you don't have to change your clothes, you don't have to put on or off your shoes, you don't have to do anything extra, which are often the hardest thing about practicing anything is actually starting it and going to do it. And this is something that you don't even have to think about. It just becomes routine as brushing your teeth in the morning, as routine as brushing your teeth at night before you go to bed. And I wouldn't do anything to energize at night time because it takes your body a while to calm down after exercise. Most of you will know that if you go out for a run at night time. It takes ages to settle back down. And sometimes when I'm teaching yoga, I teach late into the evening up until about 9 or 9:30. It takes me ages to resettle. And my going to bed time is around 9:30 because I get up around 4:45 in the morning. But I find it really difficult to settle down on those nights. So it's really good to make the evening sequence very calm, very restful, no stress attached to it. So nothing energizing. Everything is about calming down so that making sure you get a good night's rest. Because I believe in many different things, but the 2 things I believe in more than anything else in terms of your physical and mental health are movement and good sleep. Good sleep and rest and lots of movement. And with that, I hope that you get around to bringing these into your daily routines. Not all of them, not doing them exactly the way that I do them, but doing something that is going to promote the health and well-being of your body and your mind. And with that, we close the morning, noon and night sequence. And until the next time, be healthy and be well.